following podcast is suitable for mature audiences only, especially people in Taiwan or actually in any country really, as long as you're over 18.
Please, Taiwanese listener, we're so curious. Can you contact us, reach out to us and tell us who you are and why you listen to the show? It will be wonderful. I'm Vincent. We've got Les, we've got John, we've got Marcus, we've got Darren, we've got Tom. 6 of us in total here for your entertainment tonight. Enjoy the show.
Imagine if it was an accident that the Taiwanese listener clicked on us by accident, and that's why we're like, are we?
And they're too polite not to listen now.
Oh, they have to follow us on.
No, but like we were number 5 in Taiwan for like a couple of weeks, weren't we?
And he's like complaining, saying, "Why?"
In the charts, in the subject category of wrestling podcast, we were up in 5 for a couple of weeks.
Spotify chart.
Not on Spotify. I think it's more iTunes. So we're big. We're big in Taiwan. There, I said it. We're big in Taiwan. Cause it's the Strange Wolves podcast. Tell them, boys, how long's it gonna last? Our success in Taiwan, like it's fierce.
It's blown up many.
And Craig Jones, Octopus Guard 2.0. Bonus content, how to catch a pedo. Danaher has always been creepy. And Gordon's texting kids about bikinis. Hey Gordon, I hear you like 'em young. I hope you don't wind up in cell block 1. Just ask my co-host John. The only self-defense is boxing. Cause they're not like us. You're not octopus. You're not octopus.
Oh,
I remember when Gar Puddle used to be something you did on a Saturday night.
John, was that what you call like progressive?
There was
Progressive
a bit of
metal.
there's a bit of avant-garde ukulele at the end there, yeah.
Okay, I knew it was something.
Alternative / avant-garde, maybe even dissonant.
Well, I don't know much about music, man, but I know what I like.
I don't know what it is, Marcus, but whatever it is, you've got it. And by me not knowing what it is, it's probably gout or AIDS.
John couldn't contain himself during that whole section. He was busy flicking and licking and doing all sorts of things to poor Les.
Speaking of not being able to contain yourself, Darren, would you be kind enough to explain to us what in God's name is going on with Craig Jones and that other fella, Gordon Ryan, and they're beefing? They're all beefing.
It's Kendrick and Drake.
Yeah, it's all over again. Yeah, rap battles. It's an interesting one because the history goes back so far. Like, it's watching Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is just like Love Island or a drama show. You're just all into it. It's all parasocial relationships with everybody, and Craig Jones is the orchestrator of all of that, and it's wonderful and it's enjoyable. But essentially, there's a beef between Craig Jones and Gordon Ryan, 2 of the best Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu practitioners in the world. Gordon Ryan has always been a bit of a weird character, kind of, I don't know if it's left wing or right wing, but very much leaning to a specific side. And then obviously Craig is trolling, and Craig has always been number 2 because he's never beaten Gordon Ryan, but it was close with the armbar. He broke the arm. He didn't tap, but he still lost. Did
he break the arm?
I think he broke the arm.
That is like, oh God, they should have fought more.
Yeah. Well, Gordon, after all of this, has retired now. But so, long story short, there has been allegations in the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu community that Gordon Ryan is kind of talking to minors in an inappropriate way through DMs and whatnot. And Danaher's involved, and his brother Nicky Ryan's involved.
DM means Dungeon Master, right?
Yes, Dungeons and Dragons role play.
And himself and Nikki were estranged for many years, but they seem to have this week be back. Family Matters. Oh, so many Drake Kendrick lines there. But they're back, like, photo together. So is this to do with these accusations? Is Nikki involved in them?
Yeah, Nikki was involved in them. I don't know if the story has fully ever came out, but it was essentially Nikki and Gordon had a very weird relationship, and the wife was involved, and it was stuff happening when he was young. Yeah,
we're talking about a wife swap situation.
So Gordon Ryan is married.
Gordon Ryan is married, or was married. I don't know if he's still married.
I think he is too, because I know of her just from Greg Jones trolling Gordon with her, and she got a DUI there a couple of weeks ago.
She ran, and Craig was able to obtain the body cam footage and release that, obviously, so you can see her kind of freaked out running from the police. And it's like, how do you make this shit up? Like, what do you do if somebody releases a video of your wife being an idiot? Like, what? There's no comeback.
Get their wife.
You say, at least I have a wife. And what was the allegation that was swirling around in terms of Gordon Ryan, and was it totally facetious, or was there anything behind it?
So obviously, I think it stems from, there's like a little bit of a movement now in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu where it stems from maybe Adrian Gavao and whatever is going on over there. But essentially, a lot of women are speaking up now related to their experiences with these seminars or training at these gyms. And one of them had receipts related to talking about, I think it was wearing a bikini, and she was underage, and Gordon was saying everybody looks good in a bikini, and some just weird.
I don't agree with that.
Yeah.
Sorry. I know I don't like to come across with a very strong opinion on the podcast, but this time...
Look, man, I just tried it on. Give me a fucking break. It was for a bit of fun. I didn't know it was going to come back to haunt me like this.
It wasn't your color.
I want that back, by the way.
But yeah, so essentially that woman went out and shared the DMs between her and Gordon, and then obviously Craig used that to as fuel for the trolling, right? And then obviously said there's more stuff that he can put out. Gordon tried to come back at Craig saying that I have information on you, and Craig said if you don't calm down, I'm going to drop the nuke. So obviously there's still a lot more drama to come out. And I think that over the last few months with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in the community, like you've John Danaher involved in this. You have Adrian Gavao. You have John Danaher, essentially a woman that was raped. He tipped the guy off so the guy could leave the country in time.
Accidentally, maybe?
Can you accidentally tip somebody off?
I don't know.
I don't know. Like you just want. I assume in that situation,
You can absolutely tip people by accident. Like I know I was in India and I took out a wad of cash from my pocket, and he assumed all of it was the tip. So that was a real accidental tip off. Am I wrong?
Please spare us your dirty Indian stories, Marcus.
Imagine if he brought out an instructional trying to tip him off, like a 6 hour long tip off by John Danaher.
I can see John Danaher doing that. The tip off is a very important part of jiu-jitsu. You know?
There's 7 chapters upon this tip off. First, there's a reason why you need to run.
It was kind of like he sent, correct me if I'm wrong now, Darren, he sent him a message. John Danaher sent the guy a message, and it was like, oh, you can't come back and train here, and I don't want to be your friend anymore. It's because the police are looking for you, which tipped the guy off. You know, you could kind of argue that maybe he didn't mean to.
A different kind of guard pulling.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't want to be your friend anymore. I'm no longer going to be your other half on Bebo. Just, we're moving on.
I would assume in that type of situation you would disassociate completely. Why would you have the courtesy of treating somebody like that with a nice message?
Yeah. And then you've got the Atos thing where I think, again, correct me if I'm wrong, Andrea Galvao was accused, or stands accused, I suppose not resolved, of making inappropriate, maybe you might argue, sexual noises while rolling with a teenage girl. Is that what?
I think it's more than that as well, because I believe his wife would be the Ghislaine Maxwell, and then
oh my god,
Andre would be the.
Are you going that far with it?
I think it's deep. Yeah, I think it's even deeper than that. So
wow, I wasn't aware of it. Like, I'm not on social media anymore, and I feel like I miss out on all these
Did
stories.
you know that her father Maxwell, when I was 12, I remember he disappeared off the side of his yacht, and people were saying, you know, Maxwell didn't kill himself, and it was because he was always rumored to have been an agent for Mossad.
I think it was confirmed that he was an agent for Mossad.
It probably was since. Yeah, I'm just saying when I was 12, I'd heard of this
Zionists
dude.
are back at it again, hi.
it's like Abdul Al-Aziz, the manager. What is that his name?
Yeah.
What was he?
Abdul Aziz, yeah. He was an informant to the United States government with regard to the 911
9/11.
9/11 incident. Sorry. I can never remember that.
Yeah, commonly known as the 9/11, not
Yeah,
911.
for some reason.
It's all right. It's okay.
But also, it's funny you said that because that guy, Ali Abdulaziz, do you remember the Where's Noah? So he's rumored to have, Noah's mum was rumored to have been slightly underage when she got together with that guy. So there's a lot of stuff circling around.
And Connor was pushing that narrative when he was against Khabib as well. He was
Yeah.
asking him where Noah was.
Where's Noah? Yeah. Where's Noah allegedly? Yeah. So this goes to show, like, do you remember a few years ago, First Sahabi did a clip because he does a lot of Q&As and they're very interesting. He's an interesting guy, but he did a Q&A where somebody asked him, why don't you roll with girls? And he said, listen, I don't roll with women. That's it. I never roll with women. I never will. I find women attractive. I'm married. Therefore, I will not roll with them. And if you're going to say to me, well, why don't you roll with women that I don't find attractive? What am I going to do? Say to the woman, yeah, I'll roll with you because I find you unattractive. And at the time, I honestly thought, no, that guy, like, he won't roll with women. That's not on. But now that all this has come to light, I'm starting to go, maybe I can see where he's coming from.
Yeah, and I think that the emotional maturity of a lot of these Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guys, from my experience working with them, it just isn't there. So I don't think they have that level of understanding if they're doing something wrong or not. It's just you're literally just that dumb. You're really intelligent because in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but you're dumb.
Yeah, training 7 days a week, twice a day is not good for you long term.
Yeah.
In your terms
Oh, you're 15. I thought you were 25. I'm so dumb.
So what do you think? Like, is it time to, like? I'm almost afraid to raise the question because I know it's not a popular question to raise. But is it time, do you think, to entertain the idea of men and women rolling separately? Like, they could still be, sharing the crack in a club. They could still be.
What about the showers situation
They
then?
can still be sharing the showers, but not rolling together above
In
all.
Starship Troopers, it worked fine. The showers,
Totally fine.
So
I want to know more.
yeah. So if it works in Starship Troopers, it should work in real life.
And was that the future?
Yes.
There we go.
So what do you think? Who'd like to be the first to express an opinion on that? Marcus, should men and women train together?
Yes.
John?
I would say yes, but at the same time, I'm from an industry where over in England at the moment, it's down to 1% male educators in early years, and it's largely due to people protecting themselves in advance. Because if there's a whisper, whether it's founded or unfounded, that's it, you're done.
A false allegation or whatever.
Yeah, whatever kind of an allegation, if you are, if there's a whisper or a rumor, that doesn't go away, not easily. And you can't kind of say, well, that was totally wrong because there's someone somewhere whispering or whatever. So I suppose, that someone somewhere is going to get caught in a dodgy allegation thing. And as well as that there is situations where pervy guys will be pervy scumbags and do unfortunate things. And that's going to leave trauma and whatever. So, there's conversations to be had always. I think adults, maybe a decision has to be made. Underage, it shouldn't happen at all that men coaches are rolling with underage girls. Definitely not. 100% no.
Can I take it from a broader perspective of, like, just the example of Foxcatcher, that whole thing, and of your man bringing the American wrestlers in to kind of subtly molest them. I didn't watch all the movie, but that's the gist.
You finished early.
It was a happy ending.
That was enough for me. So I think we're having a movement at the moment where women are coming out about this, but I'm sure it's been happening to men by male coaches. It's just society-wise, they're not speaking out yet. So I don't think it's a men and women thing. It's probably a coaching thing. And if you're
It's an abuse of power. There could be an abuse of
power.
power
You need
by
to
coaches.
feel, though. You need to get the feel.
yeah,
All
yeah.
of a sudden, oil checks don't seem so,
So slick.
innocent, you know?
Yeah. And I think as well, if you're worried as a coach, there, the safeguarding rules there for the same as your child protection ones for, not being alone coaching. Don't be doing privates with somebody, especially
I would never give a girl a private. I'm sorry. I know that makes me a bad person or whatever, but I wouldn't want to put myself in a situation where I did something sneaky. No, I wouldn't want to put myself in a situation where, there was an allegation made.
For the right woman.
I would all do it for, if you're going to marry her, that's fine,
Tom, speaking of that, for the right woman, have you ever, maybe in your younger days, have you ever given private lessons to a female?
I went out with her afterwards.
See, now in that case, you could argue that Tom was the one who was, you were maybe, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you were maybe given the private in all innocence and she was interested in you first.
I think there was no hope of me picking up anyone there, and it was all the hope of her picking up someone. So,
and the reason I say that is I remember this vividly. I remember that she asked you for an ice cream afterwards, which is kind of like asking you on a date. Yes?
I suppose. Yeah. She did ask for
But
ice
you
cream.
didn't realize it was necessarily a date.
I don't realize a lot of things.
Okay.
Yeah, I think this podcast is evidence of that.
I should have told all those girls I was lactose intolerant.
Are you recording this?
So there's no easy answers, my friends.
Yeah, it's a tough topic, but I think that they've only scratched the surface with it. I think that more and more will come out.
It's a spectrum between Tom and Vinny.
Then you've got Johnisms on its own island, its own kind of spectrum.
I think to stay on the grappling topic.
Thank you.
Much more things than that.
Grappling with friendship. To stay on the grappling is karate combat. Walter Walker versus I don't know the guy's name. Do you know his name?
Zion.
Zion Clark.
Yeah. Again.
Yeah, I mean...
What's this? Explain this.
Karate Combat did a Brazilian, essentially call it Karate Combat Pit Submissions. Essentially, it was Walter Walker, a UFC fighter that's known for leg locks. And I said, fuck it, let's put him against Zion Clark, a guy with no legs. That is a wrestler.
So they put a guy with no legs fighting against a guy called Walker.
And he wasn't a Texas Ranger.
It's like, wow. Okay.
Yeah, and they had build up where essentially they're doing these skits where they're facing off and talking shit, and the guy with no legs grabs him by the head and punches him, and the guy then Walter says, "I'm going to kick you around like a football." To be honest with you, I thought he was going to pick him up and throw him out of the pit. That's kind of why I tuned in and watched. I was like, maybe something will happen here.
That was like Walkers versus Mr. Potato.
But what happened in the bout?
So obviously, I think my probably most interesting aspect of it is obviously the Karate Combat pit is angled down at 90 degrees. And obviously the guy has no legs, so how is he going to get into the pit from the corner? And that's how you start off. So they say enter the pit, and you see this guy kind of throw himself into the pit. He like plops into the pit, like because he has no legs, and it's ridiculous. And then you have Walter Walker messing around trying to do leg locks on a guy with no legs, which obviously is embarrassing for this guy. He's a very good athlete, just to be
He was
clear.
trying to do leg locks on him, like on his phantom leg. Like,
When all you have is a hammer, all you see is nails.
It's like the Pokemon Machamp, or there's a Pokemon, the guy he's just a ball with arms. This is exactly what it was. And the movement is very strange.
you lost us there, dude.
The movement is so strange when he's jumping on the back and like moving up. It's very weird movement, but essentially how it ends, I believe, is a rear naked choke or was it a guillotine?
It's
For
rear naked
Walter
choke. Rear
Walker.
naked choke. Yeah.
But it's just a joke. And then obviously Johnny Walker was on Twitter after trying to talk shit on his brother, saying that why are you going out there wrestling a guy with no legs? And that's kind of the story there. And it's kind of the downfall of Karate Combat.
Yeah, he's clearly playing with him and can win at any time, and he's just having just when Darren, who worked for Karate Combat, said the downfall of Karate Combat, can you just? I want you to bring up when you play it live, Les. You can edit it in. Just the first podcast we did when we came back, John talks about the powerhouse that is Karate Combat and how it's on a fucking train to the moon of success. And I want you to edit that in now and then just go back to this conversation.
It's the world's greatest combat people, and they have their own belts and championships.
Turns out John was right. Because imagine, we're talking about it here, and imagine how many people tuned in to see this, Marcus. You're not seeing big picture.
It was our first episode back. No one knew what to talk about. I was making some shit up. But I think, like, if you look at the way the world is going, we have karate combat has lost the run of itself. MMA has lost the run of it. Like Gina Carano against fucking Ronda Rousey. Boxing lost the run of itself a long time ago. Is it a result of clowns on social media looking for a 5-second freak show? You know, and is that the way the world is going? You know, as opposed to, say, for example, looking back years ago when you'd be watching the Mike Reed versus
Alex Reed and Tom
Alex
John
Reed
Watson.
versus, yeah. So I remember watching their fight back in the day and kind of like, you know, what's become of things when these absolute clown show, freak show, fucking.
It's just so profit driven, maybe. Everyone's just chasing the money.
I think Karate Combat's thing is real act of a die-in promotion trying to throw some shit at the wall. Like even those staged face-offs had the kind of production value and acting enthusiasm of a porn parody. You know, like it was real low class. So I've heard.
I was going to say, would any of you be optimistic? Like if it's at such a state, right, it can't really get any more ridiculous. So maybe it comes back the other way because maybe people will tire themselves of seeing all this bullshit, for want of a better term, and then actually just want to see some proper fighting again and, like, you know, keep it old school.
It hasn't been around long enough, but maybe it has. Like there was the first UFC, like Ultimate Fighting MMA, and it was all everyone doing drugs and crazy freak show fights. And then it went USADA, it's a sport, and now it's going back to let's let people do drugs again, a couple more fun fights. So maybe that's the cycle it's going to keep going in and out of.
On my side, the production value dropped off the cliff because they ran out of money. So essentially there's loads of vendors that aren't paid. There's people that are owed tens of thousands that I personally know. They're being sued everywhere. So essentially they're just trying to do everything on a budget. You have camera crews that are walking out during
Are you suggesting that's why they couldn't afford legs? That's a bit hurtful. That's a bit hurtful, Darren. He's a human being. Can't be saying that he couldn't afford to pay him the full legs.
Can't afford a full fighter.
Hang on, I'd like to stand up for that guy.
But on my side, it's like you can look at this like viral shit. They had Wing C on it as well. I don't know if you guys know who he is, but Wing C is essentially from Street Beefs, was trained by Demetrius Johnson, and essentially is just an idiot that fights, and it's a circus.
Owner of some of the worst tattoos in history.
My God. And on my side, it's like the production value is going down because they're running out of money, and then they're trying to do a clown show. But then they also have Uriah Hall fighting, and he's pretty good. So it's like a mix of like a joke and not a joke. But I think that they're going to keep going until the wheels fall off.
How can they afford Uriah Hall and then also have no money? Who's doing the budgeting there? Like,
so from my understanding now, they're living off sponsors. So essentially any sponsor that comes in, instead of paying their backlog of pay, they're just using that towards the fighters. So I'm sure Uriah Hall is being paid. A guy like that of notoriety is being paid. There's been guys like Emiliano Serrano who came out on Twitter and said, I haven't been paid. And as soon as he comes out on Twitter, they pay him, and then he deletes the tweet because every fighter's for himself. This is why we can't have a union in martial arts or MMA, because every fighter just wants to get their own. So if nobody's complaining, or the lower people are complaining, nobody's going to stand up for it. And until somebody comes out that is too big of a dog that they can't pay, it'll just keep going like that.
Don't get Jesse Ventura started on the union. He'll tell you stories.
And then you've got another promotion, I think it's called Bare Knuckle MMA, that seem to be riding the crest of a wave at the moment. But you would wonder, like in 2 years' time, will we be having the same discussion about them? This is Jorge Masvidal's promotion. So they're having a competition in Dominican Republic, I think, which is, you know, it's great. It's great to expand the sport. But one of the things they've done is they've given Muhammad Usman a fight, even though he's supposed to be serving a ban for performance-enhancing drugs. He's in a 9-month ban or a year ban, but yet he's allowed fight in the Dominican Republic by them. It's not a great start, you know.
I've done 2 events in the Dominican Republic. So I did one that was close to one of the really fancy resorts. It's this like Coliseum thing. And I've done one then that's in a studio. But realistically, like in the Dominican Republic, it's probably the worst level of poverty I've ever traveled to and seen. It's so
Yeah, that's where I went for my honeymoon. We got so much cheap stuff. It was great.
yeah. Well, when I was there, it's dangerous. You can't leave the resort. You can't go anywhere. But so I'm not surprised they're bringing them over there because it's Cayman law and Caribbean law. So it's like there's no commission.
That's where pirates come from.
The Pirates of the Caribbean. But there's no commission, right? So it's all whatever you want to do, you can do over there. I think that bare knuckle is growing. Obviously, BKFC I find very fun to watch. It's very, very violent, but it's very fun to watch. But then when you mix bare knuckle into MMA and you're allowed to bare knuckle smash somebody's face in on the ground, it gets a little bit different. It's an interesting.
A lot of broken hands as well.
Yeah, a lot of broken hands, a lot of broken faces.
A lot of broken hearts.
A lot of broken hearts.
Junior Dos Santos' fight in that was fantastic. It was a real massacre.
Who did he fight?
Oh, who did he fight? I cannot remember. But someone he'd fought before, I think. If that narrows it down.
Yeah, but it'll be interesting because you've got the likes of, say, Anthony Smith, who retired from the UFC and made a big deal about how he was genuinely finished. Didn't have anything left in the tank. And I don't think it's even 2 years ago since Anthony Smith retired. And now he's back fighting in the Dominican Republic, you know.
I think that obviously you had a league called GFL that was supposed to launch last year and now obviously that died. And then you now have Netflix going into MMA. And I guess my point is that a lot of the old fighters are going to be called back soon. You have Yoel Romero that's still going. He had a really good wrestling in RAF recently. But then you have guys like Andrei Arlovsky, who beat stage 4 cancer, is 47 years old, goes in to fight Ben Rothwell in BKFC. And it's a bloodbath, but eventually he comes out and is now the bare knuckle fighting championship champion. So it's interesting. Like these guys seem to have a little bit more to give, but is it ethical?
You got to question the longevity of like MMA is bad enough. Bare knuckle fighting's got to be worse. Or what do you think?
They make the argument that, with no padding means the fights end quicker. There's less damage,
Less brain injury.
But that said,
Scar tissue?
yeah, like
You got to be
honest,
cut up. Like you see
think a lot of the guys that seem to compete there are has-beens who probably have a world of problems ahead.
What do you think of Ronda versus Carano?
It's embarrassing shite. It's going to be as bad as you might think it. Like it could be. Like Carano is, and I am too, but massively overweight and has been out, away from the public eye, I think, for 3 years post Mandalorian comments thing where she kind of got cancelled. I think she's in her 40s, hasn't fought in maybe 15 years.
What did she say in The Mandalorian?
I don't know the exact thing, but she was something, I think, deemed racist or something like that.
John is he's woke, so he's got the finger on the pulse of anything.
Yeah, she got cancelled.
I don't know what she said, but she was dead right.
Yeah. No, I caught between two things then because it was apparently racist or whatever, incendiary towards immigrants. I don't know what it was. I think she's a Trumper. But the reality is she going to come back after, is it 15 years? Maybe even
How
more.
she could even make the weight, John, from what you're saying?
I do not know. What's that?
You weigh less than space, though.
Ozempic, what?
She'd come back from Mandalorian. She'd be lighter.
I think with the old MVP promotion on Netflix, they're going to be sounding them about weight and that. It's not going to be as official. It's more about making
Not
fight.
even up to them though, because the commission is the one that sanctions that. The commission has to sanction it, and the weight is the weight. And sure, you can pay them enough money to make some excuses, but if she comes in really fat, we're going to have some problems.
They'll do catch weight.
Yeah, I'm interested in the undercard of it.
Yeah,
that's
going to be
interesting.
Like, who is Luke Rockhold going to fight? Yeah, that's what I'm excited because he's on that card.
Might get Yoel.
you only watch the weigh-ins.
He's definitely on that fight. Yeah, I'm really excited for the undercard.
Anyone else fighting on it?
They haven't announced anything
Nobody
yet.
announced yet.
But it's going to be a who's who of people that are no longer in the UFC and are past their prime fighting each other.
The reason that is because everybody's contracted up to all these different fight leagues. So they can't get anybody from PFL. They can't get anybody from the UFC. So you can only get the guys that are either just got removed from the UFC, which there are some really good fighters that just got kicked and they're winning records. Basharat.
Shelton Almeida might get on there.
Yeah.
They might get Will Fleury.
Good fighter, in fairness.
He's old though.
He's 36, is he, or something like that?
Yeah.
Or is he younger a bit? Is he that old?
Oh, he's that old at least.
And he's fighting heavyweight.
And light heavyweight.
Light heavyweight,
And maybe
yeah.
middleweight as well.
I think he's double champ.
But maybe like if he's old, maybe, you know the way the heavyweights can kind of go on for a while. Is he big enough for a heavyweight?
He's a big dude.
Yeah.
Takes his vitamins.
Because I noticed like
It's vitamin Toronto.
he's gotten a bit of a high profile for some reason lately. I'd never really heard of him
He's
before
been
recently.
on a bit of a tear, and he's won both the light heavyweight and heavyweight belts in
Poland. In Octagon, is that what it's called?
Octagon.
So maybe now is the time where he can actually make some money. Maybe he'd say, well, listen, I spent the last 10 years trying to get a profile. Now from 36, whatever age he is, to 42, 43, I've got to make some money at heavyweight. That's how this sport works. I don't know.
I think the thing with these European promotions is look at the ticket sales that they're doing. They're doing insane ticket sales. Octagon is doing crazy ticket sales, and KSW is doing mega ticket sales.
They do an old freak show or two.
They do. But the ticket sales are still, even if you're doing freak shows, it doesn't mean you're guaranteed to sell tickets. And I think that there's a big resurgence of mixed martial arts in Europe, and having these Europe-based promotions is very interesting. So a guy like Will, if he's big in Europe and he's doing well, he's probably making good money at this stage.
He's still hunting for a UFC though. I'd say that's his goal.
He wouldn't say no if they offered
He
him.
wouldn't say no, but you'd have to wonder in terms of his career path, is he going to take a massive pay bump to go to the UFC? You can't imagine that he's going to be a huge draw.
He'd probably come in. He's double champ in a.
Do you know where the
big
money
promotion.
is, though? The money is...
Prostitution.
He's a good-looking man, but the money is after his UFC career. Because if you look at, say, Game Bread promotions, they like guys who've had a couple of years in the UFC to bring in eyes.
I don't know if that's where the money is in Game Bread promotion.
Or something like that. Let's say Netflix. So let's say he goes into the UFC.
Celebrity boxing, that's where the money is.
He raises his profile, and the money is where it's I suppose these days you have to trade your profile for the cash somewhere along the line.
Yeah.
It might be that he might get to fight someone really massive that he's expected to lose to.
He could sell a grill like George Foreman.
Do you know what I mean? What I'm saying is if you look at say the people who are making the Netflix cards now in the future, they're going to be people who probably fought in the UFC at some stage. They're not all going to be successful UFC fighters because they've got to fill out a card.
Tony Ferguson's probably going to be on that card.
Yeah, I can see Tony on it.
Tyron Woodley. Maybe someone like Uriah. Who knows?
Arlovsky's 47 and he's a heavyweight and he's still going. So maybe Fleury has 10 more years.
The thing is, I don't know if he will get into the UFC at that age because they're not looking for that. They're not looking for a guy that comes in for one or two fights. They're looking for a guy they can bring in cheap.
Unless he had a massive following. And I don't know
knock
if
someone out or whatever.
Yeah.
Is Arlovsky got cancer and came back from it? Is it kind of a Breaking Bad situation where he's got to pay off the massive bills he's worked up in America?
He might have got. Yeah, he might have also got. He might have got charged with that YouTuber's crew he assaulted.
He assaulted the YouTuber's crew.
Well, he's self-defense. There's a guy.
Hashtag YouTube.
Yeah, there's a guy, Jack Doherty, I believe his name. He's like punking people, but real nuisance stuff. And him and his crew of two other scrawny white guys, they had some
They brought skin color into it, dude.
Well, I have to because they've got this massive black 7-foot bodyguard
And music taste.
who is also involved in the altercation. But the lads are very. They're very confident because they've got this keeper. Yeah. So when
A minder.
yeah, so I don't know. I can't remember the scuffle, but Andrei Arlovsky starts throwing slaps at them. But he's got his phone in his hand the whole time, and he doesn't drop it. He's throwing punches and jabs, and
4 people.
it's 3 or 4, and then
They're
the
only
bouncer.
small though.
They're very small people, but the bouncer is also there. Now he just steps back from Andrei's punches. I don't think he connects with him, and he kind of throws them
He's
away.
like, I'm working here.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be minding them. This is your work.
Speaking of bouncers, fuck Steve.
Wow, that's a deep cut.
There's another one that just happened with a fella called Dean the Great, and he's on Rampage Jackson, has a live stream now. So essentially live streaming yourself was very popular on Twitch. Essentially Twitch got more corporate and kind of removed all this. So they generated a new streaming site called kick.com that's owned by the biggest casino in the world called stake.com. So essentially Rampage streams on there where he goes around and does different things. And this guy, Dean the Great, went up to Larry Wheels, a big bodybuilder, and was talking to his wife. And then Larry came over and slapped him. But the more interesting one was Tiki. He was talking shit to Tiki, which is Rampage Jackson's manager, and he just gave him an elbow, and now it's going viral everywhere. And it's really nice to see these guys.
Tiki Gosson, isn't that
Yes. Yes.
He knocked him out. He has him.
Didn't he famously have a UFC run with no wins?
I think so, but he threw a nice elbow. They might want to get him back in.
Now there is a kind of smell of there that's kind of been planned, staged around it. From to have the two incidents happen back to back.
Guy was being an asshole. So
The problem with all this stuff is once you put a camera on people, their behavior changes. And there's a lot of fakery out there. And most of the fakery people probably think is genuine themselves. They think they're acting this way genuinely, but they probably wouldn't do the same things if the cameras weren't on.
That's why we don't use cameras here.
100%. We haven't sold out, man.
Yeah.
Do we not change our mics? No.
No, what?
Are you not all acting?
I want to come back to guys that are going to be really big and maybe future stars. And we talked about Will, but there's one guy that I just always think about, and that is Gable Stevenson, Olympic gold medalist.
You think about him.
Oh, I think about him. We have 5 foot ropes in dirty boxing. And he after one of his knockouts in dirty boxing, he jumped over it, and he's 6'4". He jumped over the 5 foot ropes onto the floor to hug John Jones, who is his training partner. He's a savage. And this guy, he's fighting this weekend, which is not going to be this week when this goes out, but he's going to be the next heavyweight star when he comes to the UFC.
Any idea what he weighs?
265 easy.
265. He cuts to 265 and he can jump 5 foot in the air.
He's a specimen.
He's like a gazelle. Look at him. We're just watching him here, people, especially those of you in
Don't
Taiwan.
mind us. We're just watching some
We're just
TV.
watching Gable Stevenson, yeah.
I don't know. I think he's going to be all hype, and someone who's been training longer.
He uses boxing, which we all know it doesn't really work in the cage.
Yeah. It's
Speaking
what's
of
his
watching
wrestling? What's his
things-
wrestling like?
Speaking of watching things, are we going to talk about Mark for Death?
Ah, yeah.
Later, John.
We'll get there. Get there, John. We'll get there.
I hope our loyal listeners have actually gone to the trouble of watching it. It was on Disney Plus, so you couldn't get an easier movie to watch.
I didn't have
We
Disney
don't have
Plus.
Disney. Do you have Disney Plus?
Yeah, man.
I went to a very dodgy website and gave them too many of my details to watch it, but I watched it.
We have, what's this about Eddie Alvarez jumping Mike Perry or something like that? What is going on in the world at all?
So obviously Mike is the face of bare knuckle. So he bet Jeremy Stevenson his last fight. That was a dog fight.
Jeremy Stevenson's still around. Oh my God.
He's good.
So,
Who the fuck is that guy?
yeah, but there's going to be so many brain dead, really troubled elderly people that probably won't make elderly. But anyway, sorry, continue.
So obviously Mike, the face of bare knuckle, is at the fights for the heavyweight. He's also friends with Andrei Arlovsky. And then obviously him and Eddie are talk on a segment for the camera or whatever, or essentially they're buddy for a while. But then Eddie's son comes up to Mike and starts talking to Mike, and Mike likes a drink a lot. So he's a little bit loose. And then
His tongue is free.
his tongue is free. And then so Eddie's son is talking shit to Mike Perry, and Mike says something
What
that,
age is the son?
15.
Shouldn't be rolling.
Shouldn't
be rolling.
Hey, Alvarez Jr., you'd look real good in a bikini. Not appropriate.
Oh, let's roll.
But so the wife gets into it, and obviously if you know MMA, you know Eddie's wife always screaming Eddie when everybody's fighting. It's the funniest shit ever. But so then Mike makes a comment to the wife, and then a brawl just ensues where a lot of the Alvarezes are jumping Mike and hitting him, and Mike slips, and they're all just punching Mike while he's on the ground. The whole family. It's a whole
That's
family
amazing.
Family affair.
That's kind of sweet.
Now,
Put
the
them on
other
Street Beef's Family Feud and just have Alvarez's versus the Perrys.
Oof. the other narrative that's being pushed by two camps is that Mike Perry was saying inappropriate things to Eddie Alvarez's son's girlfriend, and that's what sparked the slaps.
What age was she?
She was 28, I think. He's a very mature man. I don't know why. They're the same age apparently, and
my
that is
God.
what caused such outrage. Now,
This is just all the gossip. Like,
now,
I feel like
my favorite, like if you watch it, like they're all just slapping the fucking head of him. But Eddie Alvarez is trying to realize if there's a court case, he'll probably get the most damage against him. He's like, I put him in a front guillotine because I was trying to protect his head from shots so he wouldn't get hit by people. Your Honor. I thought it was such
He didn't do that to McGregor when he had his chance. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Back in the day.
So yeah, the whole family, the wife, the dad, the son's girlfriend, and Eddie's jiu-jitsu coach, all
Part of the family.
Bet up
jiu-jitsu
Mike
coach.
Perry.
The funniest thing personally for me, having worked with them, was there was Cowell there. His FRM is the management team. They manage Ilya and John Jones and Mike, and they run Dirty Boxing. And he's sitting beside Mike. And when he sees the brawl, he's like, "No, I'm not about this shit." Like the manager's not up, so Mike's just battling this whole family by himself.
if there wasn't bluegrass banjo music playing in the background of that, someone missed a trick of the.
Yeah, but I'm sorry. Like, if you're a manager, fair enough. You should be expected to get involved in the brawl. Now, the minder from the YouTube incident, he needs to step up and fight a former UFC heavyweight champion in hand-to-hand combat.
He did
But the
pretty well.
manager, no, that's grand.
Wasn't 4 YouTubers not enough?
yeah.
No, that's true.
I'd also say if you were Mike Perry's manager or handler, like this was the situation that got filmed. But I'd imagine this is happening. This is a daily occurrence for Mike. You know what I mean? In the 7-Eleven, this is happening.
Mike gives you that vibe. Like Mike is one of the similar to the Diaz's. You just careful what you say. Don't say anything with disrespect because he will fuck you up. Like that's just how it works. Same with Joe Schilling. I did Joe Schilling versus Luke Rockhold. Don't interact with them too much because they will just fuck you up. That's just how it is.
But do they not have loads of court cases pending for assaulting people? Because I know if I went around punching people, I wouldn't be long getting dragged up to court, you know?
And it's weird because it's in America, which is it's like a cultural thing there. So I don't know. But I'm sure like, look at, there's so many cases. Like you had Rosenstruck recently do that as well. He bet up a lady in Florida.
What?
Yeah. Wasn't
Wasn't her name Guildenstern?
Oh, I have no idea. it's the little details that are important.
Rosenstruck and Guildenstern? Sorry.
I still don't get it, but okay.
You know, Rosencrantz and Guildenstern from Hamlet. Or not, was it Hamlet? Never mind, sorry. Tried to have
It
a bit of
was
highbrow
not to
humour.
be, John.
Catch up with the times.
Look, when you live life like Mike, myself, and John, you've got like mottos. Talk shit, get hit. You know what I mean? So we're about that
No,
life.
but I respect
Aren't we,
that.
John?
I have no problem with that, Marcus.
Yes.
But what I'm saying is I can't do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Why can't I do it? They get to do it. You know what I
You're
mean?
too middle class. So me and John and Mike.
Well, that
we're
is
just-
true. You got me there.
You're old money.
But you also have a hole in the crotch of your pants.
I know,
You
yeah.
know, is that for aeration purposes?
Just to look
Shut
attractive.
up, don't tell him or he'll fix it.
It's funny you said
Thanks,
that.
Johnny.
It's funny you said that because, like, if we were in America now and I was Mike Perry and you were like, "Oh, you have a hole in your trousers, whatever," that would probably be enough for me to go, "Oh, what are you saying?" Even though it's true what you're saying.
But we're in Ireland, so we take the pants off and we all sit around and we knit it together again.
Mel.
And we'll have a medal.
It's all about unity.
But I wouldn't fancy it either. Like, I wouldn't fancy if you're an MMA coach or an MMA manager, if you're involved in the sport because you're like into martial arts and you like it and it gets you out of the house and it's better than maybe your old job, whatever that was. And then you're suddenly Mike Perry's manager and suddenly you have to go fighting people or suddenly people are attacking you. Like, it's not what you signed up for.
I've got a question, like around the table question. At your prime, is there any MMA competitor that you've seen on a card that you could either take in a fight or maybe go the distance with?
I'll come in first so no one else can say it. CM Punk. all day. You know. Yeah. Even with my torn ACL, I still would have fancied me in that fight.
That's it, I think. CM Punk for all of it. I don't think anyone.
No, you can't say the same thing, Tom.
I think some people here could take Ryan Hall if they get good at leg locks.
I think we're all at it long enough to realize you'd have to kind of do the thing rather than you'd have to just see.
And we're all different with the camera on us. Do you know what I mean? So when the camera's facing, you act completely differently. Ryan Hall has that experience. I'd freak out.
Here's a good. I reckon I would have also taken Kimbo. You know.
With did he get kidney failure or
No, not in particular. I don't think he's very good at MMA, and he fought. His record was very. He didn't fight many people who were actually doing MMA.
He's huge.
But when he did, he lost very quickly. It's when he fought kind of more gimmick stuff that he seemed to do well.
I have a question for you. Could I beat Alexa Gomez?
No.
Fair.
I don't know who Alexa Gomez is.
Alexa Gomez. Am I getting the name right?
Alexa? Who's Alexa Gomez?
A Mexican. I might have the name wrong. She's a Mexican 125er who's really, really good.
Grasso?
Sorry, you're right. I got the name wrong. So could I beat Alexa Grasso, Tom?
Oh no,
She's
you'd
125.
flatten her, yeah.
But she's a professional fighter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's good.
You'd have a good. You'd probably give Mighty Mouse a bit of trouble. You know what I mean? Like the size is a big.
That's what I'm saying. Like weight is a big thing, you know. But if you're asking, would any of us here beat anyone in the UFC the same weight as us? Absolutely not.
CM
Same
Punk,
weight as us, yeah.
middleweight at that. So yes. And I'm actually going up a weight class to fight Kimbo.
Would you beat the guy who beat CM Punk then, Jackson?
I'd beat the shit out of him. Yeah.
I don't think you'd beat Kimbo.
I think you're talking the big talk. I think we're setting this up.
I actually please watch CM Punk's 2 fights. I would absolutely beat shit of him. Kimbo, I think I could take Kimbo.
Okay, so you think you'd beat Punk and you'd beat Jackson, the first guy he beat him. What about the second guy?
The guy who bet CM Punk, the first guy, Mickey Gall, I wouldn't beat him.
Mickey Gall's class.
Mickey Gall would kill me.
Okay.
Very,
I'm hungry.
Yeah. I'd fancy me against.
I think, what you call it, the wrestler guy? CM Punk. It's a very athletic dude. He was fighting against good fighters.
He's also old.
I don't know.
No, I don't think he is an athletic dude. I was under that illusion as well until I saw him fight, and he's actually not. He's very unathletic.
He's a great actor.
Yeah, great actor.
I think as well, carrying all those years of wrestling, he was extremely damaged before he even got to the UFC in terms of his knees and everything.
I've trained longer than CM Punk.
I would happily not fight anyone from any professional fighter from the UFC.
There was a guy in Thailand that I sparred a couple of times who wasn't in the UFC, didn't make it to the UFC, and he had fought some UFC guys. His name was a French guy called Moïse Rambeau, and when I say Rambeau, I mean like the same spelling as the French poet, not like the Hollywood movie Rambo.
So you're allowed to talk about French poet and I'm not allowed to do a Hamlet joke. Fine.
But this guy, he had people so nervous. Like these are other, say, low-level pros or whatever. I had fought pro once or twice, and these are other like low-level. And is it Rambon? Oh, sorry.
Rambon. And look up Balzac.
Oh, sorry, Rambon. Excuse me.
Le Balzac. He's a French poet from the Romance
period.
period.
Are actually nervous. People are saying you're going to the striking class tomorrow. I was like, yeah, I'm going tomorrow. And they're like, oh right, okay. And I was like, why? And they're like, well,
Godzilla.
Moise is training for a fight. As in, like, you're going to go there and someone's going to hit you really hard and you're going to... I was like, sure, it'll be grand. And then I got in there. I probably told you the story before, and I saw a pair of shin pads. I didn't have any shin pads, so I put on these lovely random shin pads that I like the look of. And then this big dude comes over to me looking for his shin pads, right? That everyone's afraid of, and I had to take the shin pads off. And he was a light heavyweight. He fought light heavyweight. He fought Little Nog at light heavyweight. No, he lost. But it was a good match. He was that level, and he didn't make the UFC. And he was able to go on nice and light, kick me so hard that my ribs were sore. I couldn't go training for 2 days afterwards. You know what I mean? And it wasn't that he was annoyed about the shin pads.
He didn't have any shin pads on.
Yeah, well, that's true. No, he was actually sound about the shin pads. He was actually a very nice guy, but he was getting ready for a fight, and I was a body, and he probably in his mind was going light. Like, I don't think these guys are getting enough credit sometimes because they're losing to each other. People aren't realizing how supremely athletic some of these guys are.
Yeah, like you could see CM Punk against Mickey Gall. Like that's a massive.
Yeah, but it's his second fight where he fought the guy who was a journalist.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Could you take the journalist too?
You
have to
could
watch
take
it.
him. I think you could take
I think
him.
I
So
would.
he's the
Yeah,
guy.
I don't know back to back, but if I've got a good camp in,
If you had a good inhaler,
yeah, no, I confidently say. Also, I think I'd have a go at Ken Shamrock when he came back to fight when he's like in his late 40s. I can barely walk. Ken Shamrock had a couple fights. I'd fancy me in that too, to be honest.
Probably do Chuck Liddell, Tito Ortiz on the turn.
Nowadays, I'd fancy me against Chuck. I'd fancy me. I think Breeze would finish Chuck. I could beat that Breeze. I believe there's 3 Irish words for fart.
Tuffog. you be Marcus Tuffog O'Makara.
Absolutely.
Like how much is your man that you were talking about getting paid for the UFC? You know, the big 265 pounds can jump 5 foot in the
Yeah,
air.
but he's not in the UFC yet. He's still grinding.
Okay, so
that guy still hasn't even
that
made-
guy is a supreme athlete at heavyweight, and he's probably his next fight. He's probably going to just get 10 grand
He'll
for a
get
win,
5-5.
or 5-5, even worse.
Yeah.
5 grand for a win, 5 grand to show.
Yeah.
like it's not.
He has a huge following as well.
does.
He won't come in baseline.
Maybe he'll get 10-10.
Yeah,
Yeah, he'll get 10-10, 20-20, but
probably 2020 for him. Yeah, I'd say.
yeah, because he does have a big following, and obviously he has the Olympic pedigree, and then he has the backing of John Jones. John Jones will be in his corner, so that's a good.
He'll get a special. He'll get a.
He'll get special.
He'll have decent management.
He'll get CM Punk like money when he comes in.
Yeah, but
He won't
he'll
be
have decent
20
management, which is half the battle as well. Do you know, a lot of the young fellas coming in or young women coming in don't have managers, or
Well, you see the trust stuff coming out now. You've seen the text between the managers and Dana and the Campbell and stuff, like negotiations, and the managers are just throwing their athletes under the bus to try to just get a bit of money in, and it's just ridiculous. What's that? So there's the antitrust lawsuit going on right now with the UFC, and Dana White actually did make testimony on that and said, oh yeah, I don't have any involvement with any matchmaking or negotiation anymore. But related to that, there's also all the texts coming out between the matchmakers and the managers. And the managers are not negotiating with the UFC at all. They're not putting their athletes first. They're not trying to get anything. It's just, they're just taking what they can get. And even if they know this guy's getting this much, they're throwing certain athletes under the bus. So your managers aren't even in your corner in this sport. And then we also have Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones.
Is that happening?
Yeah. Or is that, sorry, it was a Floyd Mayweather. Floyd. It was Floyd.
Oh yeah, he's fighting Floyd.
Yeah, we've Mike Tyson versus Floyd Mayweather coming up as well.
That's
that's depressing.
to be fair to Floyd, he's really played a greatest hits tour. Like he's milked the fuck out of it, hasn't he? Like he's gone around like, who'll fight
He's
me?
unbelievable.
Yeah,
He is unbelievable.
Gotta respect that. No one touches him.
He still hasn't lost. Like,
Yeah,
it's crazy.
and maybe he's the goat.
He could be the highest IQ combat sportsman of all time. If you look at what he's done, the money he's made, the fights that he's picked, when he's had them, the timing.
The same guy who can't read.
Yeah. But if you look at that, like if you're someone who can't read, like you're bound to end up way brighter than anybody else because you see the world completely differently. Like you're not looking at words on a page, you're actually looking around at the word and you're looking at what it really is.
That's
You're
like
not
being-
seeing the world through the medium of random, ancient Greco-Roman symbols or Phoenician symbols. You're seeing it, man.
It's like when you're blind and your hearing improves to like your ears overcompensate.
No, it's like the Matrix. I go one further. It's like if you're suddenly seeing, actually, Agent Smith is
Source
just
code.
hopping in and out.
It's
Source
like
code.
Descartes, where a malignant demon has taken over the world and is trying to trick you of all things.
Like, Mayweather never married any of the mothers of any of his children. Not that I'm against marriage, far from it. But even that, like, all these guys end up getting sued by various women that they end up divorcing. Yeah. He's kept everybody sweet. Never liked his dad. He's kept his dad sweet. Even his dad's still part of his team.
There's a lot of domestic violence charges against him.
But none of them stuck. See what I mean? None of them stuck.
You can't beat the Shelley system.
And I'm not a Mayweather fan. I actually don't like Mayweather, but I'm just saying.
The only thing he didn't do is pay his taxes, and that's probably why he's still fighting.
Yeah, well, that's probably not the highest IQ.
The literacy thing is important.
He probably played that card though. He probably said, "Hey, I can't read
because he's
going to pay taxes."
Can you
going
count?
on such a tour of these fantasy fights. He's fighting everyone. Will we finally get to see now the fight that was spoken about 10 years ago, as in who would win, Mayweather or Ronda Rousey in an MMA fight? We might actually fucking see it. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
I heard it's Karate Combat's next fight.
It might be. Yeah, like it was like I remember it was on Joe Rogan's podcast, and Joe Rogan was like, "There's no way she would destroy him." You know,
Who would win, John?
Well, if it was MMA, Ronda, 100%.
I still believe that.
Like, I think if it was MMA, any of us would beat Floyd.
Can you bring up a
agree.
scale
I
on the
actually agree with
computer?
that,
To see,
100%.
I want to see, like, you know, the way the dinosaurs and the
He
people.
might be winning at life, but we'd beat him at MMA.
Yeah. But CM Punk is a stretch.
No, but the thing is about CM Punk, a lot of those pro wrestlers,
Not even a blue belt. He's
a lot
not
of
even a
those
blue
pro
belt.
wrestlers know how to hurt people and know how to hurt. Like, you know, we see the kind of pro wrestling thing or whatever, but a lot of them have an awful lot of catch moves and tricks and what have you.
He's not going to catch wrestling me.
I know,
You
but I'm
catch a
saying-
cold.
Yeah.
But he might do, like, say, for example, if he did a DDT on you, then what are you going to do?
Why is that a porn thing, Liz?
Choke slam.
It kind of is because it's Hulk's catchphrase and he did a porn. So yes is the answer to
Did he
that.
though?
Yeah.
Hold on, let me.
Yeah, he
do a
was.
porn movie?
There was a guy called
No.
Bubba the Love
He
Sponge.
didn't do a porn movie. He was recorded while having sex with his friend's wife, and he put that video on the internet. It's a little bit different because the production value, Les, wasn't there.
Your Honor, I put forth the evidence of Paris Hilton one night in Paris. Are you saying that wasn't a porn? Because that was recorded too.
But they put the camera there to
But in
watch.
Hulk Hogan's case, though, did he put it out online or did somebody else?
No, he won a big court case because it was put on his.
So he
put out online.
didn't want it out online.
No.
It's not his best work. It's not like he's had hip replacements.
The husband actually,
he's not.
the husband knew and kind of offered his wife to Hulk. And then obviously, I think someone in the kind of management team or something like that leaked it out to the public. And there, sure, once it got out, sure, you know, who doesn't want to see Hulk Hogan having sex?
It's too bad he'll never get another shot at it.
May
So
he
where
rest in peace.
Was the husband there?
I don't know. I left about half an hour before it.
Yourself and Gordon Ryan.
I was disgusted by the whole lot, so I just said, I'm out of here.
I put my pants on and I left.
John had an appointment with Jeffrey Epstein. The husband was there. He was actively encouraging them at the start to go, like, you know, have fun, Hulk, and have at it, old boy.
Are we sort of? Is that a wrap?
Yes.
All right.
If you've got 4 men and 5 cigarettes on a boat, with no lighter, how do you light the cigarettes? How do they smoke? That's the question.
Yeah, you don't see John doing mysteries, you know.
The Riddler has struck again. Go on.
All right.
Sorry, John. I stole your time.
Tune in next time. to
Yeah,
find
no,
the
you have
answer.
to tune in next time for my, because I have to think about these things in advance, you know? These don't just come out of nowhere.
There's an answer for my one.
Go on.
No. The winner gets a bottle of Pucci.
Sweet.
Yeah. I think
Don't
that,
say we never give you anything.
and
listener.
I hope, John, you've got newfound respect for the pressure that Tom has been under all these years at the top 3. Now you're like, oh, I can't think. Leave
No, that's
me.
because we just did the podcast a few minutes ago.
That
and
was a week ago.
and
That
one
was a
had
week
asked-
ago.
No one
Wake
had
up,
asked me
John.
to prepare anything. Like, I come up with several. Several. The next time I'll have a fucking litany of them.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see.
What is the sound? Oh, no. I tell you. Here's one. What is the smelliest thing in the world? Fish's vagina.
All right.
Think about that
Keep
one.
it classy and definitely keep it crabby.
The password is Genki Sudo.
Cause it's the Strange World Podcast. Telling boys how long it's gonna last. Marcus, Vinny, Tom, and John. Open up your rap, turn it on. Strange Worlds Podcast.
Who doesn't want to see Hulk Hogan having sex?